in the 80s when they built the Beverly Center in Los Angeles. And they had this big sign on the street and it said, "Don't blend in." And for some reason it just has always stayed with me. Well, actually I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. We moved to Los Angeles, packed up and moved to Beverly, like the Beverly Hillbillies. In 1969, they allowed girls to wear pants at school. And I'll never forget that day. I just grabbed whatever I could from one of their closets. I had on my boys' pants and a Hang Ten t-shirt, short sleeve, crew neck, and I showed up to school and I had such power, and I would just go into my mom's closet and I would touch everything. And I'd spend hours, just touching the fabric, smelling things. I could smell her perfume. And then I'd go over to my dad's side and I'd touch his ties. And I could tell the difference between the silk and the polyester. And my dad started volunteering dental work on Indian reservations. And he would come home with just beautiful beaded jewelry and turquoise rings. He sort of started me on liking a lot of adornment. And that is what got me started. And I got a job in Beverly Hills at one of the hottest, stores. Beverly Hills was it. It wasn't so snotty. It was more bohemian. Elton John styled platforms and, funky big glasses and Joseph Magnin. And it was very stylish and very fun. I went back to school and I got a degree in psychology. But in my last quarter, I got offered to do a film. And that's when I started getting into wardrobe, styling. I became the shopper, because I knew all the vintage shops and everything, and I would, get all the stuff. And I knew nothing about the business, and I was a complete idiot. I was getting high with the director. I always wanted to work on films. I just thought it was so glamorous to be able to dress people. And then when you get on films, it is completely unglamorous. In fact, I showed up to work, dressed to the tens with really high shoes. I got sent home one day. Go put on sneakers, you're not dressed appropriately. I started getting into selling when my consumption was getting overwhelming and the collections were growing and the collections were giving birth to more collections. And I was really sort of lost in terms of my spirituality. All of a sudden I got this huge light that came in that said, "You need to start sharing these things." That's really what got me to start letting go of my collections and giving away. I was doing Bohemian way before Bohemian was in. And as soon as it hit the magazines, I just put it all in a corner in the closet and I went a different route. As soon as mainstream catches on to something that I've been doing for a while, I don't want to be that way. I don't want to start looking like everyone else. If I could do one era completely for the rest of my life, which I sort of do, it would be the 70s. And this was in the window on a mannequin, and I just said, "That's my dress." I went into this makeshift dressing room and she zipped it up and it was just perfect. I just love the Indian, and the back is really great. This is my rainbow dress. The funny thing is I didn't know that it was a gay, big gay thing, but now I'm even happier that I love rainbows because what it stands for. I love capes, and this is one of my favorite capes. If I had nothing but, a couple of sweatpants and t-shirts, but I had all my jewelry with me, I'd feel very confident. I love Afghani, Pakistani, Native American Indian, mostly silver. These are character rings from China. Each ring has a story. I've been collecting these for 30 years. There's no machines making this stuff, and you can sort of picture the woman doing it and sitting there all zen and peaceful. When I first saw it, I just thought, oh, this would be great for people that love Hawaiian, and I did not realize the extent of this dress. The hat is actually just a costume piece for people to dress up Egyptian. This I bought for my high school reunion. I just love that it's sheer, but it's not because of the design. It covers up enough. Style has to be more than what you just went and bought, because anybody can spend 10 grand on an outfit and just be boring. What's really funny about this dress? That other one I wore to the 20-year reunion? I wore this to my elementary school reunion. Why did I pick all my reunion dresses? I remember being 9 and having 2 girlfriends come over for a birthday party, and we were all posing for a picture in our little dresses. And I remember looking down at my legs and thinking they looked fat. I mean, at 9, that's really irrational. It's tragic, really, because 10 years will just pass by with this self-obsession, and you find yourself canceling plans because you don't feel like you fit in your clothes properly, or you're embarrassed because you're too thin, or people think you have cancer. It really has stunted my life. And the whole idea of control is a myth. You have not made more money. You have not found the better guy. It's just become this prison. And it's always just one day. It is literally today. And how are you doing today? And are you happy? And are you treating yourself well? I love this new thing about myself that, going through menopause and everything, and sometimes you get a pimple or what, and I just show up, I was breaking out. I was totally self-conscious, and in walks this absolutely stunning creature of a man. And I wanted to hide, and he sat right next to me. We ended up having dinner together. Me with my pimple. Never let something so insignificant, rule your day. Because truthfully, people are so concerned about themselves and so self-conscious about their every little, they're not even noticing your little imperfections, and that's the lesson.